Morning.
Morning.
Everyone has dug themselves out. I don't know. Some of you know I keep ducks, and they've been staying inside in their hutch for the last week. I finally let them out yesterday. I've never seen animals so happy, flap their wings. But anyway, uh, welcome. We'll begin with our morning recitations. And for the past several weeks, I've forgotten to mention the page it's on for new arrivals, new people. Page 7, the 3 refuge vows. After that, we'll do the Heart Sutra, which is on page 8, right next to it. Please stand, and we'll recite our 3 refuges.
I go for refuge to Buddha, my deeply awakened mind, the living source of understanding and compassion, which must be cultivated to be known fully. I go for refuge to Dharma, the path of mindful living, leading to healing, joy, and enlightenment, which must be cultivated to be known fully. I go for refuge to the Sangha, the loving and supportive community of practice, realizing harmony, awareness, and liberation, which must be cultivated to be known fully. I am aware that the 3 jewels are within my heart. I vow to realize them. I vow to understand living beings and their suffering. I vow to cultivate loving kindness and compassion, and to practice joy and equanimity. I vow to live simply and sanely, content with few possessions, and to keep my body healthy. I vow to let go of all worry and anxiety in order to be light and free. I am aware that I owe so much to my parents, teachers, friends, and all beings. I vow to be worthy of their trust, to practice wholeheartedly, so that understanding and compassion will flower, and I can help living beings be free from their suffering. May the Buddha, the Dharma, and the Sangha support my efforts. May the Buddha, the Dharma, and the Sangha support my efforts. May the Buddha, the Dharma, and the Sangha support my efforts.
The Heart Sutra, and as tradition has it, we always chant, sing, whatever word you want to use, the title at the beginning and again at the end. And I am not the world's best singer, so if you don't want to hear my voice, you better sing.
Dharma Prajna Paramita Mridaya Sutra. The Bodhisattva of great compassion, from the deep practice of Prajna Paramita, perceived the emptiness of all 5 skandhas and delivered all beings from their suffering. O Shariputra, form is no other than emptiness, emptiness no other than form. Form is emptiness, emptiness form. The same is true of feeling, thought, impulse, and consciousness. O Shariputra, all dharmas are empty. They are not born nor annihilated. They are not defiled nor immaculate. They do not increase nor decrease. So in emptiness, no form, no feeling, no thought, no impulse, no consciousness, no eye, ear, nose, tongue, body, mind, no form, sound, smell, taste, touch, or objects of mind, no realm of sight, no realm of consciousness, no ignorance, nor extinction of ignorance, no old age and death, nor extinction of them, no suffering, no cause of suffering, no cease from suffering, no path to lead out of suffering, no knowledge, no attainment, no realization, for there is nothing to attain. The Bodhisattva holds on to nothing but prajna, paramita. Therefore the mind is clear of any delusive hindrance. Without hindrance there is no fear. Away from all perverted views, one reaches final nirvana. All Buddhas of past, present, and future, through faith in prajna, paramita, attain to the highest perfect enlightenment. Know then the prajna, paramita, is the great Dharani, the radiant fearless mantram, the utmost supreme mantram, which is capable of allaying all pain. This is true beyond all doubt. Proclaim now the highest wisdom, the prajna, paramita. Gate, gate, para gate, para samgate, bodhisattva. Gate, gate, para gate, para samgate, bodhisattva. Gate, gate, para gate, para samgate, bodhisattva. Dhamma prajna paramita hridaya sutra.
Please be seated. For the last couple of weeks, before sharing a Dharma talk, I've been saying something about the Heart Sutra. The Heart Sutra is the foundational sutra of this temple. And I have been practicing Buddhism for over 20 years, and I can learn something from the Heart Sutra. I can learn what the Heart Sutra is saying every day I look at it. It's something you have to stop and think about. Anyway, I know there are a couple of new people in here, and I just want to explain what the title means, the Maha Prajna Paramita Hridaya Sutra. Maha means great, large, most important. Prajna Paramita, and that is found throughout the sutra, and it's through faith in Prajna Paramita that we attain the highest perfect enlightenment. The word Prajna Paramita is two words. It means the perfection of wisdom. And that is what we are trying. I'm hesitating because I could hear my teacher pointing at me and saying, "What words are you using here?" We want to experience that perfection of wisdom. And Buddhism offers us those tools. Now, the one thing I really wanted to talk about today on the Heart Sutra was the word emptiness. It is the translation of a Pali word, sunyata. Now, I know you're familiar with, in the Four Noble Truths, there's the word dukkha, which is usually translated as suffering, although it means much more, stress, anxiety, all kinds of things. And that's the same with sunyata. Emptiness is the word that sort of stuck when scholars first started translating from the Pali and the Sanskrit. But another word could be vacuity or voidness. Those can both work. But emptiness does not mean nothingness, nor the absence of existence. What it means is that nothing exists in and of itself. Nothing exists without some other causes and some other conditions. Think of yourself as an example. You are in existence because your biological father, your biological mother created you with two different cells. You are here because you were nurtured within your mother's body. Everything she drank, breathed, and ate helped nurture you, help you grow, help you develop, help you become. After your birth, everything you experienced up to this very second has helped create who and what you are. A tree exists because of the soil, the atmosphere, the rain, the sunshine. You take any one of those things away and the tree won't be there. So what this sutra is telling us in that stanza, there is nothing that exists independently. And this fits in with Thich Nhat Hanh's teaching of interdependence or interbeing. We are all connected. Thich Nhat Hanh has a very, very wonderful metaphor that says enlightenment will occur when a wave realizes it is the ocean. Think about that one for a minute. I believe, I feel, I think I'm an independent being, but I am an expression of life. We are all expressions of life. We are all different aspects of that one life. All right. Any questions on nothingness or any comments, thoughts? All right. I'm going to talk today a little bit about Shariputra. Actually, I'm going to talk about an event in his life. Now, the Heart Sutra, which we just sang, chanted, is addressed to Shariputra. Together with Moggallana, Shariputra was, those two men were the Buddha's greatest disciples. Shariputra has been called and is called the marshal of the Dharma. He had an understanding of the teaching surpassed by no one. Shariputra, by the way, that name Shariputra means, Putra is similar to the Scottish Mac or the Irish O'Brien or O'Donnell. It means son of. So Shariputra means son of Shari. That was his mother's name. So you can think about that when you next time you chant his name. Anyway, the Buddha said about Shariputra, and you can find this in the Dhammapada in verse 400, that one I call noble, who is never angry, never goes astray from the path, who is pure and self-controlled. He was telling other people about Shariputra. Now, what did I want to talk to you about with Shariputra? It has to do with somewhat with what I just spoke about with the Heart Sutra. Shariputra and his friend Moggallana, the Buddha's two great disciples, were born within hours of each other, I believe in neighboring villages. Their families were friends, and so they grew up as friends. They were members of the Brahmin caste. They were wealthy. They were educated in the best schools. They had a great future in front of them. But like many people, the Buddha himself, when he was still not the Buddha, wanted to know why, wanted to know more. I think that's why a lot of us are here. So they wanted to find a teacher, Shariputra and Moggallana, and they realized they could find one better if each one went a different way. Once we find that teacher, whoever finds them first will come back and tell the other. So Moggallana went one way, Shariputra went the other. And it so happened that Shariputra saw a monk, a Buddhist monk walking. He didn't know he was a Buddhist monk. He just realized he was a recluse. That was a very common practice in ancient India and even in modern India, where you leave household and family and you exist on begging and wearing a saffron robe, and you practice meditation and other things to help you come into touch with reality, divinity, if you will, truth, whatever you're looking for. So Shariputra saw this sacred man, holy man, ascetic, walking, and he went up to him and he said, Sir, who do you study with? Who is your teacher? And this monk said, I study with Gautama, the Buddha. Can you tell me what he teaches? Well, I'm really new to the practice. I just joined up with him within the last few weeks, and I don't understand a whole lot of it. And Shariputra said, be it little or much that you can tell, the meaning only, please proclaim to me. To know the meaning is my sole desire. Of no use to me are many words. And so this monk recited some verses to him, a single verse. And the verse is, of those things that arise from a cause, the Buddha has told the cause, and also what their cessation is. This is the doctrine of the great recluse. Now that doesn't, I was going to talk to everybody. The first time I read that, it didn't strike me as, I didn't understand it, I guess. But it hit Shariputra to the soul. He thanked the monk and he ran off and found Moggallana and repeated it to him. And they both realized that this was the teacher they needed. Now, what do those 4 lines mean? Of those things that arise from a cause, we just have learned through the Heart Sutra that there is nothing that does not arise from a cause. Everything is here because of other things, which is helpful for me. I'm going to take a little tangent here. If I go into a market and the teller is not as smiley or happy as I think they should be, I have to realize this person wasn't born unhappy or unsmiling. I don't know what has happened in their life. And it's not going to be wholesome for either one of us if I return that unwholesomeness, that negativity in return. Their person's dog could have just died, or their mother's sick or something. I don't know. But there is a cause for everything. And the same with myself. Have you ever all of a sudden realized you were grumpy or happy? Either one. If you stop to examine that, where did this come from? Why is this here? Why am I so happy? Why am I so grumpy? That is part of the practice. That is part of the Buddha Dharma, to understand or to be aware first what we are experiencing, the emotion we're experiencing, be it negative, positive, or neutral, and then to find out why. And what that will do is, in the future, it will help us understand or be prepared when this type of thing happens again. This is what made me sad last time. This is what made me grumpy last time. We can be aware of it. And that's where the practice of meditation is so helpful. We sit on the cushion. We are aware of our breath. And of course, a thought will come and emotion will come. And we don't get involved with it. We just let it go. We don't push it away. We don't pull it into ourselves. We just, there you are, and let it go. And through that practice of observing emotions and thoughts as they come, maybe we can be a little more wholesome, positive, helpful in our interactions with everybody else, in our interactions with every other living thing. Of those things that arise from a cause, the Buddha has told the cause. And that cause, I've just explained, is that it is other things, other conditions. Carl Sagan, one of my heroes, we are all star stuff. When in the huge furnace of a star, heavy elements, iron, calcium, are created. When that star novas, those elements are thrown out. Our bodies contain elements created in some star, or maybe several stars, long ago. We are connected with everything in the universe. If those stars hadn't exploded, maybe we wouldn't be here. I got to stop now because I'll go into Carl Sagan instead of into Buddhism. So, but then the Buddha says, the monk had said to Shariputra that the Buddha taught, and also what their cessation is. Now, if I take away moisture, rain from the tree will die. If I take away the atmosphere from the tree will die. If I take away my atmosphere, I will die. Those things that have created us and maintain us are the conditions we need, are the causes we need. And without them, we won't be. And this is the doctrine of the great recluse. And the Buddha was referred to as the great recluse. And if you look at his teachings with that little verse that monk shared with Shariputra, with that in mind, you see, that's where he's pointing us to try to understand where, how, why. I have 4 or 5. I have 4 brothers, 5 brothers, 2 sisters. And we grew up in the same family, same parents. We are all individual, very, very different. And I'm sure all of you with siblings are just as different from your siblings. You came in the same home, you came from the same parents, same experience. Well, that's where it's different. We each experience things a little differently. Now, we talk about the 5 senses. In Buddhism, we have 6 senses, the 6th being the mind. Everything we take in through our other senses, what do we feel, hear, taste, smell, we process here. So I can experience something that my brother experiences, but I may process it a little different. And that all goes back to cause and effect. I am the product of everything I've thought, everything I've said, everything I've done, everything I have experienced. Questions? Comments? No? All right, let's prepare ourselves for meditation. I'm sorry, just for a moment. Kent, did anybody online have anything? Oh, thank you. Time for announcements. That's what you're doing, right, Kate? Okay, just a minute. I'm sorry. Uh, on Thursday mornings at 9:30, we meet here for a half-hour meditation, and then starting at 10, we have a discussion on living the Dharma. And we begin that discussion by a book that we read, and it changes periodically as we finish it. Right now, we're reading Fragrant Palm Leaves by Thich Nhat Hanh. It's a section of his journals. If you would like to attend, you're more than welcome. If you want to attend on Zoom, there's a link on the website. And I know most people work or in school at that time. It was started for us old fogies, but other people have been making it in there. Also, on March 14th, that's a Monday, at 6:30 in the evening, I have a group of students from Calvin University coming. They are part of their world religion class. And this happens all the time. We have students from all over the place coming. If anybody would like to assist that day, what I would be helpful is someone to greet them at the door, help them, show them where to put their shoes and where to find a seat. So if you're interested in doing something like that, let me know. And Kate, I am sorry. Oh, you have one? Okay. Okay. I didn't mean to cut you off.
I can't hear real well, so.
Oh.
Thank you. Good morning. My name is Kate, and my Dharma name is Ambo. And I'll let Hung Su explain why some of us have Dharma names. He can talk about that later sometime.
Yeah.
The temple operates on a donation-only basis, in keeping with our practice of generosity, or dana. Dana is the practice of giving and receiving, which is central to Buddhist practice. We are extremely grateful to all of those who, throughout the pandemic, have supported us with their time and their donations. We hope that every person who participates in the temple finds it of value as we provide programming and a temple space for you to practice. We have just finished our first week of our pledge campaign, which will run through February 15th. Our goal is to meet or exceed $2,000 a month, an amount that will pay for our monthly operating expenses and get us through the next year. Currently, our pledges total 14% of that goal, so that's pretty exciting, I think. Thank you. Just as everyone is important, every donation or contribution is also important. Please consider either increasing your donation or becoming a donor for the first time. To make a pledge, there's a few ways you can do that. There are pledge sheets at either entrances on the tables. You can take one of those home, fill it out, and either mail it back in or leave it in one of the Dana boxes. You can also go to the newsletter or on our website at zengr.org/donate and find the pledge form there. And for those that are online, if you look at the bottom of the screen, there's a place that you can click on there to also find the pledge sheet. Thank you for your generosity and your time.
Thank you. And just I don't know if I'm allowed to say this by the bylaws and my vows, but I'm going to chance it. No one at the temple receives a salary. Everything that comes into the temple goes to pay the rent and the bills. And I may be in trouble for speaking about money, but I did it. All right. On page 9, we have our closing gathas. Please rise and we will recite them together. Any other announcements before we say? All right. And together we say, for all evil actions ever committed by me since of old, on account of my beginningless greed, anger, and ignorance, born of my body, mouth, and thoughts. Now I atone for them all. Vast is the road of compassion, a formless field of benefaction. I wear the Buddha's teachings for the benefit of all sentient beings. One being's one body, I vow to liberate. Endless flying passion, I vow to uproot. Dharma gates without number, I vow to penetrate. The great way of Buddha, I vow to attain. Please, you people turn this way and we will turn this way and let's bow to each other. Have a safe and a warm day. As warm as you can be. It's time to